Sahala, welcome to the podcast.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's amazing to have you on. I'm really looking forward to this conversation
Me too.
and exploring your story for the world. People get to know you more as a person and who you are. Um, for people who don't know you, would it be fair to say you're a singer, songwriter, and frequency worker?
Well, yeah. I
Some
mean,
of the things that you are.
yeah, some of the things.
Mm.
I mean, I definitely explored that part of
Mm.
frequencies. But I love to just use it. Like, I love to be that pillar where, and like that tuning fork for myself. And no matter what I do, whether that's being a mother, whether that's cooking a meal, making a coffee, like my high frequency, and as much as I've cleared up in myself, it just emanates anything in what I do,
Mhm.
whether that's being a creative or whether that's just, being a human being in society.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mainly just focus on getting as clear as I can possibly be in this lifetime.
Hmm.
And obviously, music is my calling. I would love to be able to express so freely and powerfully through that
Yeah.
through that field. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I want to start at the roots, take it back to the roots. How
Okay.
did you get started with your creative journey in the first place?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I've always been very like intuitive, very sensitive, like
Hmm.
young girl, and I remember when I was really young, um, I would play the piano. It sort of was like a broken out tuned piano that my mum had. I must have been about 3, and I would sit and I would play just simple melodies on my own, something that would just move me. I had a lot of heaviness and darkness in my childhood, so I think music for me was sort of a soothing balm, if you will,
Hmm.
to all of the heaviness that was external to me. And I didn't really have a say in it because I was that young. So my mum had an old piano in the house, and I would just sit and play melodies like over and over again. And people that have come in like, saw me when I was younger, they said they would come into the room and hear me play, and just I seemed quite sad. Like I was quite a sad little girl. I think because of everything that I experienced or just witnessed. And I was very very internal, very insecure, and just wanted to make myself really small. So I was yeah, just away from all of it, or just as small as I could be, so I didn't feel it as much.
Hmm.
But I also have another. My mum also told me another memory when I was really young. I used to write out for song ideas. I used to write out different moods, so like happiness, sadness, all the different moods, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I've always wanted to express my emotions and the spectrum of how we feel, because I've been such a feeler and I'm so sensitive. That interests me,
Yeah.
and how can we express anger through sound?
Hmm.
How can we express calmness through sound, and happiness and joy? So that's been a really interesting experiment for me. As I've matured, I I sing about happiness. I sing about my experiences. I sing about my awakening, um, stuff that I think we can all relate to anyway.
Yeah.
I think music heals me first and foremost.
Hmm.
That's why I've done it.
Yeah.
And obviously, a gift, a natural gift, and something that heals me, heals all.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a blessing. I've definitely chosen this before I've come down to earth, and it's something I just want to be able to express for everyone.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's got this image of like someone finding a lifeboat, which is music, and then through that lifeboat, other people can come on as the lifeboat expands and gets stronger.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That
It's
is
got.
beautiful.
So I started with a piano
Yeah.
in the house. And
Yeah.
how did it progress? How did you get more? How did it develop your sort of musical talents or skills?
Well, music's been in my DNA. My grandfather was an exceptional, I want to say genius. I don't want to seem biased, but I think he was one of the best musicians I've listened to and seen. He was a multi instrumentalist. He was signed to Island Records with Bob Marley, and he played with
Amazing.
Bob Marley. He's on a few of his records, like Natty Dread with the tenor sax. And he was just practicing every single day from such a young age, like
Hmm.
12. He played with Louis Armstrong and
Amazing.
toured around America. Like, he was just really top of his game. And it kind of skipped a generation. It skipped my dad and my uncle. And I think that musical gift of just improvisation and that musical spark is definitely, I definitely took it. You know, I wanted to appreciate it.
Yeah.
So obviously I had a very, you know, deep childhood, rough, dark, abusive. But we can go into that or we can't, you know, because that's the past. So I basically was staying with my grandmother. I couldn't stay with my parents. It wasn't, you know, a nurturing environment for us. And I remember sitting down and watching X Factor with her. I
Yeah.
think Leona Lewis, or before that.
Uh-huh.
I used to just watch it with her. We used to love that. And I would sort of be a bedroom singer. Like at this point, my parents didn't know I was singing. My gran didn't know I was singing. I would just observe.
Yeah.
I was very curious. And one day I entered my primary school talent show and I won it. And I blew everyone away. Like my dad was crying, my mum was crying, like everyone was in shock. And I sung Leona Lewis, Bleeding Love.
Oh,
Like a
beautiful.
very, very hard song to sing. But that was the moment where I sort of grasped how I could be a performer, you know, being on stage, having the lights and, you know, being by yourself and having a microphone in your hand. Like it was a vulnerable experience
Yeah.
and a vulnerable moment, but it was really empowering as well. Oh, really empowering. So that that set for me opened up this total field of performing,
Yeah.
you know, world star performing. And I have this memory, must have been about 6, where I was in my room and I said, okay, Sahala, think about what you want to be when you're older. And I said, okay, I want to be a singer. And I was like, no, what's better than that? What's better than that? A national superstar. And I was like, no, what's better than that? An international superstar. And I said, yes, that's the best. I'm going with that. So yeah, that's just been my dream, if you will, ever since I was young, just to be this international superstar that just shines this beautiful light on the world. And
Amazing.
yeah, it's
I can, you know, I
yeah.
can definitely see that you are on the path.
Yeah.
That path. And that's so cool that that moment as a child, your first performance, you're getting the confidence, you're feeling it for the first time.
Totally.
And it's just like persisted. Like that gave you the initial push towards this path.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It was awesome. Like I wasn't even on the list of acts, so they had to like write my name, but I still won. Like standing ovation. Again, it was the first time my parents ever heard me, and I think because I was a quiet girl, like
Yeah.
a quiet, like shy girl when I
Yeah.
was young, and they were just blown away. And I mean, so was I. But then I was like, okay, well, I can actually do this.
You saw your own power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw this gift that, you know, with practice and love, you know, and nurture, that I could make something of this. It's like-
Amazing.
yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. So yeah, how do you think? Because yeah, you mentioned your granddad. How do you think that influenced sort of your creative expression and style? Did you take after any of sort of the style or any of the technical stuff that he did in music, or how did that shape you in general?
I love that question. And it was only when I went to South Africa a couple of years ago where I saw documentaries of my granddad that I really knew, like, there's one thing that I love is I can sometimes go into a studio or lay something down and it could be a freestyle and it could be improvisation or it could just be like a one take thing. And when I was in South Africa and I was watching him, I realised he'd done the same. You know, he would go into the studio and because he was probably really present and just effortless and you know, trusted in his ability, he was able to just lay down the work that the session musicians or the engineer wanted him to do. Like it was just like a one take recording for him. And I've done that in the past and I do that. So I definitely think that musical sort of spark, that genius, is filtered down, you know, like stardust. Like I've gathered some. Obviously, technically, he was more superior than I am because he played all instruments very well. And obviously, I think that just comes down to practice. But the initial gift of that, I keep just seeing sparks.
Yeah.
It's just because I think that we all are, you know, we all have gifts, but like we all can attain that if we want, you know, anything's possible, I believe. So I definitely think the musical gift though comes from that side, you
Yeah.
know, the African side, that lineage that my granddad took it and explored it, and so have I, you know.
Yeah.
I know my brothers love music and can sing, and my mom as well can sing. But like that push to bring it out and showcase it for the world is definitely something I think from my grandfather's side, you know.
What was your grandfather's name? In case people
George
wanna.
George Lee Larnyoh.
George Lee Larnyoh.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna check out him as well. um, what do you think drives your creative force?
I want to just say experience,
Mm.
but also just releasing as well. Again, like music, it heals me first and foremost, and that's why I do it. But like if I have like a really hard experience, or if I'm really angry at an experience or thing, sometimes like writing about it releases it for me, you know, and then whatever, if I make that into a single, or if I make that just because I've got loads of songbooks that, you know, I've written songs that I've never done anything with.
Yeah.
So again, it's just a form of healing for me. But I also love being around other creatives. Like that really inspires me. If I'm in like a studio session with other artists, or if I'm sitting writing with them, like it really, like my creative juices flow. Because we can, two people together, we can think or bring in something that needs to be addressed within society, or within just the shifts going on, especially if they're aware as well. And, you know, we can write about the shifts that are happening. So we sort of hit a set frequency, and then we make music together. Like for example, me and, you know, Alto, or just me and other artists, when we're in that same room, it's almost like this presence, this synergy happens, and we just create magic, you know,
Yeah.
like that one I showed you, serving
Yeah.
people.
Amazing.
I did that remotely, but you know, I sat on that for a while.
Yeah.
And I listened to it, and I got in that frequency of what, you know, Alto was saying and presenting. But yeah, I want to be able to serve people through music. So whether they're aware of it or not, they can just, you know, play one of my songs or play my music and just feel a sense of calmness, a sense of groundedness and presence within themselves. You know, if it awakens their desire to inquire about themselves, you know, and not even I do this sort of music, my frequencies are embedded, listen to me, like, you know, even if babies, you know, like babies are aware, but they can't express through
Sure.
words. But, you know, I just want people to be able to receive it the way I, you know, want to give it.
Yeah.
It's with just love and just presence.
I feel that. Yeah. And from your music, I definitely feel a sense of presence, awareness, expanding consciousness. I would say that's very clear in your music.
Awesome.
And just in your being, to be
Yeah.
honest, like it's very clear if you're open to receiving it.
Yeah.
That is.
Because a lot of people hear my music and just think, what? That's just so foreign. And
Yeah.
I understand that, because like before I came home, I wasn't even sure about myself, you know, and when you're not sure about yourself, or you're just living outside of yourself, then these things they just seem off,
Sure.
you know.
Yeah.
Obviously you resonate to where you resonate.
Yeah.
So again, like it's beautiful when people are open to that, you know, to my frequencies, and love it. So I don't really do it for anyone, I just do it for me. And that's been a beautiful journey in itself. Like obviously this industry is vast. You know, you have set pockets of intentions for this creativity. Obviously creativity is divine. We're all creators in life. No matter what you do, whether it's music, art, a baker, like a mother, like every single person here has that spark within them. And this industry has this shadow that seems to manipulate and take advantage of of that purity.
Yeah.
Um,
Different agendas at play.
100%. I won't say I stay clear of it because it's apparent and it's something that I'm a part of, in a sense where the business side of music, I'm, releasing music, the royalties, etc., etc. But yeah, I want to become just this free agent of independence, where I'm not relying or I'm not starving for other people external at me to help push me up. I'd rather be organic and natural and find my flow.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not like, oh my goodness me, I need to do this to get this so I can be this. Like I want to allow myself to do it naturally. We could go so deep into this industry and the distortions it harbours.
Yeah.
I just got, for every artist out there, just be aware of where you're stepping and like even just what sector you're stepping in, because every field has its distortions. So I guess just be aware of it all, and trust in yourself.
Yeah.
First and foremost in every step that you do take, and just if you do misstep, just learn and grow.
Trust your gut feeling.
Yes.
Intuition.
100%.
It's very important.
100%. There's so many egos. There's so many piranhas, vultures, especially with some labels, like obviously the majors. And again, like not all of it is, I'm not saying all of it is so bad because it's beautiful, but just, yeah, you're right, trust your gut with these things.
You have to, like,
Yeah.
in general with everything, to be
Yeah.
honest. But yeah, moral compass, internal moral compass.
Totally.
I feel like it's hard to sort of put your music, like box it. Or
Yeah.
like because we were talking about how, for example, people can perceive your music when listening to it for the first time. And I think you're very versatile. Your styles are quite diverse. So maybe that's part of the reason why people can't
Right.
instantly, because it's like you can't box it, like say, oh, that's a pop artist or that's a rocker.
Totally.
So how would you describe your music if you were to describe, let's say, stylistically or...
That's, you know what, that's such a funny question, because people ask me, so what music do you do? And I'm literally like trumped. I don't know what to say. I usually just say my tonality and style is very soulful, very from the pits of pain and grit and human rawness. I love singing about that, and my tonality and my texture is like that. My music is definitely, you said consciousness expanding, expanded consciousness. I like that.
Yeah.
I would just say awakening music. I know that's not really a thing now, but I think in time it is going to be like that. I love being versatile.
Yeah.
And that's probably why I can't even, finally describe it myself, because I love doing all different styles. Like, I've been in rock bands, I've been in hip hop bands, I do electronic music, I do live band music, I love all styles. Even just acoustic, my own, like from my raw heart, like just playing with a guitar or having a piano, keeping it really simple. Like, I do it all. So I'd probably just say soul.
Yeah.
Just soul, eh?
You gave a beautiful explanation of it, and especially with I really like the part you said about the textures and communicating the human rawness. You put great words together. I've never put those words together, but that perfectly describes your vibe, I think, in music.
Thank you.
Yeah. The tonalities, they definitely, like, you don't even need to be saying a word. Sometimes your
Yeah.
melodies just make you feel something
Yeah.
that needed to be felt.
Totally. I love that.
Yeah.
Again, music for me, it's life. There's actual periods where I don't listen to music at all. I'm just in silence, and I think it's important for musicians to have that time, where you're just you're just self. You're just silence, and silence is deafening. Silence can be beautiful. Silence can be colors. It can just be amazing because you have time to just sit with self, which is everything. And then there's periods of time where I listen to literally all genres of music and just find. I usually go with what feels good when it hits my body in a way, like you described it beautifully, where a part in me something gets felt which I haven't felt before, or it needs to be felt, and I'm there. For example, if I cry from a beautiful music or beautiful sounds, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I allow myself to cry. I allow myself to feel that, or again to feel it, to release it, and then heal it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have told me like I have this sort of haunting, melodic sort of vibe about, you know, my singing, and I understand that because I like that part. You know, there's that again. To me, it's like going into parts of yourself that you've locked, you know, and you've put the key somewhere. So I like exploring aspects of myself that are hidden. I want everything to be hidden, to be known and become aware of.
Yeah.
And it is a journey, you know. It's not like, yes, yeah, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
enlightened, off I go. Like, this is the human journey.
Continual journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's beautiful. What would you say have been or are your biggest creative inspirations?
Definitely pain.
Mm.
My pain and obviously humanity's pain. Like, my personal pain from childhood. Even, like, I've written some songs about it and I've gone there, but I still need to go deeper with that. You know, right now I'm just not ready for that just now. I think once I hone in on my, like, practice, for example, my acoustic, like, guitar, I think I could go to those really vulnerable parts within myself. I've been doing a lot of collaborating with other artists for the past, like, 5-6 years. So my inspiration's just been, what can I contribute to humanity, society? And I always like to hit the highest, or I always like to hit the best.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love singing about my pain and you know, the darkness and, you know, you could say low resonating emotions or states of being. But I seem to think like the best, which is, you know, not ignoring everything, but like recognizing it, but understanding that we can hit the highest, or we can go for the best. So why not let's just go for the best? And this time that we're in just now, with all of these amazing shifts, and, you know, when COVID awakened a lot of people, that's what my inspiration's been about just now, is my awakening journey. You know, because there's a lot of people that are awakening and they're just like looking around like, okay, well, this is amazing, but like, what should I do with all of this? You know, anxiety is rising up, you know, all of these things, distortions that are just in their field.
Yeah.
They're like, well, okay, what can I do with it now?
It's quite a shock
Yeah.
initially when you wake up.
It's so deep. It's
Yeah.
so deep. So I want to be obviously a lighthouse, a guide, a guiding force through my music and just through my being. To be like, okay, let's just release all of this. You don't even know what it is. You don't even need to know what it is. You don't even need to just go into that frequency and analyze it, because sometimes it slows us down and trips us up. Like I've done it, you know, I have, and I've gone around and around and deeper and deeper, and I'm like, okay, well, can I just let go of this?
Sure.
Because, you know, can I just, you know, carry on in my life and move forward?
As opposed to like going forever down it, because it might never end. You never know.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
Because you continue onto that thread, and you can go back in previous lifetimes, lineage.
You're giving it more power almost. You're giving it more juice.
And instead of just, okay, let me just release. So, yeah, my inspiration has just been this time that we're living in.
Yeah.
Nature's a huge inspiration for me. Nature is just, she is, probably just the best inspiration.
Yeah.
You know, I could be at my kitchen window, see a beautiful robin, and just start singing about a robin.
Oh.
You know, just something beautiful,
Yeah.
or just the trees, and I can gather so much sounds from nature. Like I can record the trees rustling or the waves crashing and incorporate into that my music, and because nature's just presence, you know, that's the best.
It is.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate
Yeah.
natural thing. It is. Oh,
I hope
beautiful.
that answered the question.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. Yeah. And I relate with a lot of the things that you say as well. Yeah. Like particularly like pain and all of that. Like for me, that's also probably my biggest fuel source, I would say, for art. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's a great way to transmute pain. Like if you put it into art, because not only you can process it, but you also allow other people with similar pains to see how it could be processed,
Totally.
and like they can also, it can act as a way for them to recognize the pain that maybe they didn't even know they had.
Yeah.
And you recognize it and you've packaged it and you put it into this format. You process it for yourself, and now the other person gets to see it, they get to acknowledge it, they get to process it.
Exactly.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love artists.
Yeah.
I love it. It's like my language.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is really beautiful. Wow.
I want to talk a bit about the frequency work that you've been
Yeah.
involved with. Firstly, what is frequency work for people that don't know anything about it?
Okay. So, in my understanding, obviously, I'm forever simplifying what frequency work is because it is a profound technology that hasn't really been explored yet. It's been around since literally the start, the dawn of time. So it's been here forever and forevermore. It's always been here. But to explore it and have the desire to explore it now and the awareness of so many beings here to explore it now. It's almost like this time, it's almost like these doors have fully opened for us. You know, people have explored it, like masters and ascended masters have explored this frequency term, but a lot of people weren't in the consciousness ready for that.
Yeah.
So now that we are ready and the doors are fully opened, I feel like it's this technology that releases a lot of spiritual junk. So we're spiritual beings, you know, and we're having this beautiful human experience. So why can't we be our optimum, our highest, our best? Why do we have to suffer like we have done for hundreds and thousands of years? With this frequency technology, which is inherently the frequencies of nature, which is presence, the frequencies of God, of oneness, of expanded consciousness, it's available for us. So why not hone it? Why not use it? It's like a brilliant new app that doesn't deplete us, it doesn't distort us, it only enhances us to be our best self, our strongest self. So that's why I've come down here. That's why a lot of people are here and they're awakening, because this time right now is so transformational. And I want to be a pioneer. So that's why I kind of started it younger. And I want to let people know that this short time we have here as being a human in your avatar, let's make it the best that we can be. Yeah, it's intense. I'm quite an intense person though. I like to feel things, you know, the sensitivities of life. I love it. So that's why I started out, because I wanted to release the darkness and the baggage that I felt through all my life so I can be free. We are all born free, but we have stuff that isn't us that are blocking our connection to ourselves, blocking our connection to oneness, to that frequency of abundance that, yes, we all have. It's not even a thing that we have, it's just that we are. So I wanted to be the best that I could be for myself, and therefore be the best that I could be for my children when I have them, or my future lineage, or just humanity, you know. Again, it all starts with yourself. So I wanted to free myself. I was going through a really dark time where there was this dark path that inherently has been running in my lineage for a long time, of addiction, abuse, control. And so I was walking unconsciously along this path, and my spirit, you know, I fell into, you know, pit holes. And my spirit said, okay, well, you know, get yourself up, look around. Is this the path that you are willing to walk on now for the rest of eternity? because not even in this lifetime, but then the next lifetime, because similar frequencies I will gravitate, I'll pull them in because I'm resonating there. So I got myself up, I looked around and I said, you know what, this does not feel optimum, this does not feel good, one bit, this feels controlling, I felt like I was just being used. So I decided there and then, I want to change. And I actually said the words out loud. I said, I want to change. Like, I will do whatever it takes for me to move and steer to another way. This is not the path I want to be walking down. It just wasn't me, who I am in my heart. And I don't regret anything, because without those experiences and without walking on that path, I wouldn't realise that that was not the path I wanted to be on. To know who we are, we have to know who we're not. To realise that we like tuna sandwiches, we have to realise that we don't like salmon. We
You
have
have to know the dark to appreciate the light.
Absolutely. That you can't, in this reality, you can't really have one without the other. We have to experience the night to then appreciate the awakening of the morning and, bask in its lightness. So the dark serves a beautiful purpose. And I'm really grateful that I experienced it all, because without it I wouldn't have awakened.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have decided that I want to transform. And when I did, I was in New Zealand at the time. I met this beautiful woman who's my dear friend, and I was working in a cafe, and at the time I really felt like I could speak to no one about this depthness, this darkness that I felt. And again, I felt it on the spiritual side. So it wasn't, physical things happened, but it was more of like, I need something a lot deeper than physical talking or something like that. So anyway, this woman I met in a cafe says, do you believe in energy? I said, yes. She's like, okay, well, the universe is pulling me towards you. I'm not sure why yet, but, we'll get to that. And I met up with her for coffee one day, and I basically told her, I broke down to her. I said, look, this is what's happened. I really want to change. Please help me. Do you have anything for me? And she just took my hands and she just said, you're ready. And I think I was, 17 or 18 at the time. And she led me to this world of frequencies, and it was almost like the fabric of existence, because that's what frequencies are, like everything is frequency at the sub quantum level, like everything is, and we are made of frequencies. And to be in touch with that one divine frequency that connects your heart, you to everything, was something that I wanted to really attain and really feel. And again, my main intention at that time was to free myself, of shame, guilt, fear, all of these low resonating frequencies that were coiled up, trying to keep me in this state of helplessness, of despair. And control, that's what it wants. It wants to disconnect you so you feel helpless, so then you're easily manipulated, easily controlled for other benefits. So freedom was what I wanted to go for, and the rest is history. One thing led to the other, and I was just opened up to this beautiful technology of healing, like true healing. And was it Einstein that said, like, frequencies are going to be the new medicine? Like, for example, take the placebo effect. Some people can heal themselves with thought alone.
Yep.
And, like, I know there's a lot of scientists that are exploring that just now. Again, like, it's just this consciousness that we're in. Like, the doors have been opened now. It's here, it's happening. And why do you think all of this is going on in the world? Like, because the paradigm that was in control before is losing it, and they know they're losing it, and they have no control again. So they'll move heaven and earth just to do as much as damage as they can. They know they're going down, so they're going to take as many people as they can with them, because they just, that's just where they resonate.
Yeah, it's a survival sort of thing.
Yeah.
For them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're like their food source, if you will.
I have so many questions
Gosh.
based on just what you said.
I know that was very deep.
I loved it. So this woman, when she told you she felt drawn to you, and obviously she was right in a way, because that's manifested into a beautiful, deep friendship. When you met her, did you also feel something for the first time? Or like, what made you feel comfortable to open up to her?
Well, one, she was Scottish, and I was in New Zealand, so it was like,
Nice.
it was like, oh my goodness, it was almost like an aunt, or just like a beautiful aunt for me, and it was just familiar. The fact that she was Scottish and I was on the other side of the world, I was instantly just like connected, like, yeah, fellow Scot, you know, and she just had this beautiful intensity about her, not in a scary, uncomfortable way, but in an intriguing way for me. And even I was like surprised that I trusted her, basically. I trusted her with my most precious vulnerability.
Yeah.
And no matter what she pointed out to me, like, it's not like I was embarrassed, like I was there. My spirit said to her spirit, I'm here, show me. Tell me what I need to be told. I'm ready to listen. So I was at a stage in my life where, I wanted to be humbled. Like she taught me a lot about my own character, because there was a lot of unconscious stuff that I wasn't aware of. And those people are blessings, like true blessings in your life, where they help you become aware of things that you never were aware of before.
Yeah.
And like, wow, like, I mean, I'm not putting anyone on a pedestal, but like, she really helped transform me. Like, just, she was just there for me when I needed, and you could say my spirit brought that in, and her spirit brought that in, because as much as she brought such light to my life, I brought light to hers as well. Yeah. And I'm still in contact with her, I'm still in touch, and she's just really proud of the growth, the immense growth that I've done. Even I'm shocked at the growth I've done as well. Like, looking back at young Sahala, she didn't know herself. She wasn't aware, she was just running these programs from the family and from humanity, and it's amazing. It's almost like it's just two different people. But I love her regardless, and like that self-love, I'll just speak about it, that self-love is everything. It is the key to yourself that opens up everything else that you want in life. Yeah. I believe. Like, literally, that's the first step to anything. It's just like that acceptance, that honor, that respect, that love, and protection for yourself.
Yeah.
And that's something that we're not really taught.
No.
Like,
Not.
that's something that's completely hijacked since day one. Even, like, since way back, even our parents are unaware, and the grandparents. So awakening is definitely coming home. It's definitely realizing that you are the everything, the adult, the spouse, the lover, the creator, the everything for yourself, and then project, into this world.
You're the first point of contact that you have
Totally.
in the world.
Totally.
If you get the first one wrong, the rest
Yeah.
are going to be distorted.
Totally.
So you have to get the first one first.
100%.
Then go out.
100.
Yeah.
And it brings a lot of sadness to me that a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people hate themselves, or are not comfortable or don't trust themselves. Like I've actually physically heard people say that, and I'm like, wow, you don't trust yourself. Maybe that's an unconscious thing someone said. But yeah, I think there's the agendas that have been pushed is to disconnect us from ourselves, is to have shame and guilt and make us feel like we're not worthy of ever accepting ourselves. You know, we should be striving for someone outside to tell us that we're good enough, and that we're doing okay. And then again, that's distorted, and you'll never feel complete, and you'll never be good enough because you're asking someone outside who they might not even be aware of themselves or love themselves. So this journey of knowing yourself is the deepest
Yeah.
you could ever do.
And it's the power of belief again, like with the
Sorry.
with sort of self-hate, shame, all of that, just like the placebo effect that you mentioned, like belief, thought, they can actually shape reality and physical existence. In the same way, if you believe in self-hate or distortions that are projected onto you, or that you end up believing because of this, that, and other, that's going to become your reality. You're going to feel the effects of that. So I think belief just does shape a lot of behavior in the world, and it can be positive or negative.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
Questioning your own beliefs is very important. I think if someone's stuck in a particularly bad spot,
Yeah.
a lot of it is just self reinforced sometimes.
So belief, what is belief? Is it belief where, you know, you believe everything you think, or you know, you're listening to, because we can get external influences. Again, like a radio, we can tune our frequency to different things. For example, someone may believe that I'm going to win the lottery, I'm going to win the lottery, but then they never win the lottery.
Yeah.
So I think frequency work, I'm going to tie it back into this. Frequency work helps you become this, it helps you calibrate. So if you're miscued, if you're just outside of yourself, if you're tuning into a different frequency, it helps you tune back into one,
Yeah.
just you. Because there's so many frequencies and stations just playing along static, and it causes you to tune into different things. So you could be believing, you know, I'm a great person, I'm a good, but why does all this abuse happen to me? So frequency work, it removes all of the things that shouldn't be there. All of the static radio stations that, you know, you've gathered, that we've collected from lineages and family, and experiences that we haven't just gone, okay, that was I explored that radio station, I don't need that. I've explored that radio station, you know, that must be me, that must be a part of me. You know, I must be this really shit person, so I'm just going to put it at the back of me and continue. And then these shit things happen because we have that frequency riding on the back. And you're just like, what? But I'm a really great person, you know. I go to church, like I look after my kids, like I'm why? So I think in time, frequency work is going to be one of the best answers for a lot of these issues.
Yeah.
Again, it's the spiritual aspect. It's the programs. You know, if we're talking matrix language, it is all of the programs that are in our file, in our drive. We don't need all of them.
Yeah.
We don't need all of these apps, you know, on our iPhone. You know how if our phone's really slow, then we can delete all of the opened apps in our phone. Like, we don't need to constantly have them.
Yeah. I like
Again,
that.
just to be the optimum. It's to be the best. It's, you know, we're always wanting to improve. We always want to self-heal and regulate. And frequency work just helps clear out the baggage for you.
Recalibrate.
Yeah, but on the spiritual aspect, because you could go to actual physical therapy and talk out with someone, but then what if you still have the frequency of, you know, not feeling good enough? And you could talk about how to someone how good you are, and recognize all of it. But if the program, if that frequency is still there in your spiritual field, like all around you, if it's still in there somewhere, no matter what you do, like, you have to remove it. So that's why I've explored this, because I knew there was things here that I couldn't just release on my own. Like, I had a little bit of help. Like, when we go into nature, it helps release it. We can actually consciously, with intention, you know, Mother Earth, through my body, through my field, release, you know, and you can visualize it. And being in just like that raw presence, it just evaporates. You know, we always feel good when we're in raw nature. Always. Like, literally bliss. Like, no problems, nothing. I'm at one. I realise. I could probably say that now because I have done so much clearing. Because before, my mind could never have a break. I was constantly, like the radio station, just tuned on to different frequencies all the time. And it was deafening. I couldn't get a break. The only break I could get was when I was asleep. And I even still had nightmares and still things popping up in there. So frequency work is so, so important if you want to become you.
Yep. So for people that would be interested in exploring it, how would you recommend they get started? And also, how could they expect the process to look like or go?
Well, I always recommend my beautiful friend, Kaya Usha. She's the teacher's teacher and, again, a pioneer in this beautiful technology. And I would say just message her. Just say, I'm interested in frequencies. What can you tell me? Or just say, Sahala recommended me to you. I know nothing about you or frequencies. I just know I want to become my best self. And again, if you are interested, then you must have that desire to know yourself. That desire to be like, well, I know there's more. I know there's more of me to explore. So how can I release what I can't even see? That's what it is. Oh, I just hit the mic. How can I release what I can't even physically see, but I know and feel is there? Like this pressure that I feel. But there's a lot of modalities, like you just being in raw nature, for one.
Yeah.
And, you know, visualizing, you know, your nervous system, for example, connecting with the roots or the mycelium of Earth. So where you become really grounded and really strong with Mother Earth, having that connection with Mother Earth, actually speaking to plants, actually realizing that they are aware, you know, having relationships with animals, you know, looking animals in the eye and saying, I see you and I'm aware. Again, I think it all starts with that desire to know yourself, because many people just don't have that desire yet, and that's completely fine. They're on their own trajectory, their own life, they have their own mission. But if you do have that inkling and feel pulled, like, explore nature, explore, you know, your sensitivities, explore how your gut feels in certain situations, you know, listen to yourself, honor yourself. If an environment is not helping you thrive, have the courage to step out of it, have the courage to move away. But yeah, with frequencies, like, there's some in my music, there's some in Kaya Usher's music. She has a couple books as well, that I have, which is quite beautiful and helped me. And there's just like these foundational book called the Simplicity Platform, the 8 Tenets, and that's just like the pillars, you know, to keep you grounded, and I use it all the time, forevermore. But if you really serious about shifting, and I know you've had a session as well, so you can speak from experience. And I'm really proud of you for doing that, by the way, because you didn't even know what I was like.
No, I just took your initiative. I sort of trusted in
Totally.
your message. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was going through a lot of release. So I was honoured, and I've done definitely a couple sound sessions with Boa, and that was quite beautiful. With Jane. But I wanted to just guide you to the best and the most efficient, and I knew it would really, you know, help you.
Yeah, I'm going to check out that book as well, the Simplicity Platform.
Yeah,
I'm going to check that out for sure.
Yeah, I have it. I'll show you.
Cool.
Yeah, I've got a
Yeah.
couple. I'm not sure if that answered the question. Basically, if where to find, so yeah, so just look outside in nature. But obviously, like, my teacher is Kaya, so I still work with her every single day, and it's become a community for me,
Yeah.
you know. And so the community that we have, again, this is all online. So if everyone's interested, literally, even just flick me a message, or just, I'm sure we'll put some links in
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I'll put all the links.
Literally,
Yeah.
just ask and you shall receive,
Yeah.
basically, and what to expect. So something, when you release, so for example, if you have a first session or you release a lot of programs, sometimes they can come back. Not in a sense where, oh my goodness, they're back, I'm doomed, that didn't work. In a sense where the residue, the familiarity of these programs, because they have been running for so long, for eons, throughout humanity, they come back and they say, hi, I'm just popping my head back. Are you sure you want me to go? And that's for you to confirm it and be like, I want you to go. Like, I do not want you here. You know, you've served your purpose, but I can see you now,
Yeah.
eyes wide open, and you're not serving me to my highest. So, yeah, love ya, laters.
One last temptation to
Yeah,
to
and it's a
beat.
lot. Like,
Yeah.
it's happened to me so many times. But this, you don't punish yourself either. Like, you become aware that you don't need to abuse yourself. Abuse is not something that you have to receive in anything. You know, you pick yourself up like a child. You know, you pick yourself up, you get the mud off and say, right, okay, you've learned that, you know. It becomes detrimental when you don't listen to it, and you know.
Yeah.
But that's for you. That's your own discipline.
Sometimes you're not ready to let go of something for a range of reasons, or but then when the time is ready, you know that it's ready, and you can finally let it go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Involves a lot of reflection and like awareness. But yeah, I've definitely noticed that within myself too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like knowing.
Since
Yeah.
since that session or before.
In general, to be honest, before, but since that session as well.
I know, I've noticed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
More introspection.
It's a continual journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes, yeah, you become aware of things. You become aware of destructive patterns that you have, but you still don't fully have the readiness to let it go. And that's such an intricate part of the process, because it hurts. Because the awareness of it hurts. Because you're aware of destruction, your own destruction. But yet you're participating in it. And yeah, thankfully that's one of the last stages until you're ready to let it go. But it's always beautiful seeing the transition to when you can finally let it go. And then
Yeah.
you become free of that weight or the frequency, I guess.
I think environment's really important.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
if not one of the biggest things ever.
Definitely.
Because, you know, you could be aware of all of this, but be in an environment that's not supporting that
Yeah.
awareness. And then you could be out of it and just be in flow. Like, I remember, I'll just give an example. Like, in Dundee, Scotland, I was in this environment where I was not helping me at all thrive. And then I went to go collect well water in this beautiful unknown environment. Sorry. Met some really beautiful people, and I was literally like living 5D reality where everything was seamless. Like, from start to finish, I got like a free bus. You know, I got there on time. I met this woman who was there with her dogs. We went to you know, everything was just meant to be.
Yeah.
And I came back to that environment that I wasn't thriving in. Boom, back low, like frequency. It was incredible actually to experience it, to have the contrast. So yeah,
Yeah, I feel you.
environment. That's probably why I like traveling so much.
Yeah. No, me too. Yeah, environment definitely plays such a big role. The people you're with, just the physical environment,
Totally.
how
The
this
setting.
how the space looks, how it feels to you.
Yep.
It makes a lot of difference to like your behavior.
100%.
Yeah. No, I'm a firm believer of that too. So if you want to change something, change your environment or make sure your environment accommodates the new thing that you want to pick up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to be mindful of your time. How much time do you have? It's nearly one.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
However, time, my friend. Yeah, we've got enough time.
Okay, cool. um, yeah, we've covered a few of the things already that I was gonna ask.
This is good. We
Which
could
is,
talk so
we
much
could
about.
talk
Yeah.
for ages. So, okay, let's see if we can link that. So we talked a lot about frequencies, nature. What would you say your connection to spirituality is like, and how has that progressed throughout your life?
So, I believe I am a healer. I'm really, really connected with the earth, and I really respect her, and I feel like in a past life I have used her offerings to help people. Maybe that's through ceremonial practices, or from what I feel within myself. So I would say I'm definitely a pioneer in helping this shift, helping people become aware of themselves. Spiritually, obviously, music is originally straight from the divine, and showing that awareness and appreciation and just love. Like we have this gift and we express it physically, and the intention is to, back to oneness. So I think music is one of the highest that you can help people.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can mesh nature, like Mother Earth's frequencies, with divine music frequencies, creativity, to express for humanity, like I feel that's my mission.
Yeah.
I'm going to share something really personal with you. Only a couple people know this, but I feel like this is a great opportunity to share. So it was almost like a beautiful, deep meditation that I was having. I was with two friends at the time, and out of nowhere, I just felt this pull. My spirit pulled me to the kitchen. My other friend felt this pull. We didn't even need to say a word. This all happened in silence. My other friend went to one corner of the room and started doing yoga. My other friend was asleep, and I was in the kitchen. And all of a sudden, I just get locked into my spine, and I was moving fluidly like water, but I was so connected to my spine, but I was so fluid. So I was flowing like water basically. And I started singing. I started singing about waves and the waves. And what I was doing with my hands is I was gathering with my voice. I was doing this with my voice. Like I was hitting every single note. That there was no limit to where I could go and to how deep I could go, or it was beautiful. It was smooth, it was seamless, and I was basically visualizing getting frequencies from the earth, deep within Mother Earth, the core, and then using my voice to bring it up, 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 and then using my voice to wash these frequencies over the cosmos, so over Earth, over the planets, into the universe. And I probably did it for about 10 minutes, just like these waves of consciousness, and using my voice to basically spread it out. And honestly, it was just so profound for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and I actually recognized the movements because I seen Kaya do it in one of her videos where she'd be on a boulder and she'd be dancing, and she'd be so locked in her spine, but she'd be so fluid like water. And I recognized I was doing that, but I was doing that with my voice. And I thought, well, how beautiful, because here's a beautiful being doing frequency work, helping the teachers in life. She's the teacher's teacher. So helping the teachers. And here's a teacher through music doing frequency work, if you will.
Yeah.
Obviously, I haven't opened up to all of the details of that yet. I'm obviously still learning, but I'm doing it through music. I'm doing it through sound. Like, I see a frequency of sound, one note, boom, I zoom in, and I'm like, whoa. One note opens up so much.
Yeah.
I could play one note, and I could create a whole song from it. It's incredible. And when that happened, I was like, boom, that's why I'm here. I'm literally washing over healing frequencies from the earth. It's not even from me. I'm almost just like a clear conduit for these frequencies that are here, always been here. Mama Earth, I see you. I'm literally just helping bring these up because I'm clear and strong and using my gorgeous gift of sound, of vibration, of heart to physical to wash them over. And I was like, oh, brought me to tears. Probably lasted about 10 minutes. I stopped. My friend stopped you doing yoga. We just come together and then I think we just slept.
Yeah.
Like it was something that we've never spoke about as well. It was one of these experiences where divine beauty,
Yeah.
that it was like, in that moment, I knew my mission. It was so beautiful.
That is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. That is.
Thank you for letting me share it.
Of course.
Like only literally 2 people know about that. Yeah.
That is such a beautiful story, and yeah, I feel like those moments really, well, they do a lot of things, but they let you know you're on the right path. They really, they show you the divine, and they let you know that you're connected.
Yeah.
Like it's there. It's right here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was, yeah.
And your power in the way that it's connected to the divine. It's like you have the power of the divine through your vessel. And that's just one way that it was manifested in that time with your spine and your voice.
Yeah.
But it shows you the potential, I guess.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
In that moment, it showed me the potential that I have.
Yeah, a glimpse for 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's so beautiful. Amazing.
Wow. Do you get that through your art?
Yeah.
I feel it through your art.
Thank you.
I do.
I'm glad you feel it.
I do. The divine.
Yeah.
The potential. Proper.
Yeah.
Just to shift people through image, boom, words. Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That means a lot. Yeah, I mean, I mentioned this on another podcast the other day, but I literally thank God after every artwork that I make, because I know it didn't come from me. And if the artwork...
Of course it did.
Well, it did. But, the original inspiration is the divine, which is everything, which is me.
Yeah, oneness.
But
I hear you. Yeah, of course.
So ultimately, yeah.
Yeah.
But I try and not get too caught up in just like the pride element and the ego element of it.
Yeah, I hear you.
As opposed to just like appreciating the beauty that's flown through me.
Well, oneness. Yeah. The beauty of oneness.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it comes to me through my art a lot. So many times I won't know what's happening until it's done. And then it feels divine, like, and I will be ecstatic for so long. I will just be ecstatic. And it is one of my greatest joys in life, like creation.
Yeah.
Because it is sort of my direct connection to God as well. It's one of the ways that it manifests. And it's sort of service. I also see it too, because I'm creating something, I'm giving it to the world. And if it really rings true, if it's like an artwork that really rings true for me, then I don't even have to worry about its reception or anything like that.
Totally.
I just know it's true.
Yeah.
Like I felt it, and then so I know it's on the right path. So yeah.
Well, I definitely feel it through your art.
I'm really glad that you do.
So thank you for sharing it.
Of Of course.
Truly.
Thank you for receiving. Where do you see your music evolving to in the future? Is there a particular direction you would wish to expand on? Or are you just, well, yeah, I'll just let you take that.
I know, again, these are great questions. I see my music reaching all corners of the earth, all corners of the world. I love connecting with other cultures of music. So again, I'm not just one thing. Like, I want to explore like instruments of Africa, instruments of South America. And again, I'm a human being having a human experience. And I want to be able, it's not just like, look at me, I'm a star, it's all about me. It's like, no, I want to bring like awareness to different parts of humanity, you know, like go to Africa and make music with musicians there, you know, or tribes there, or South America, you know. And I'm just going to say a vision of, for example, if I was to ever do a Grammy performance, I want to incorporate like a jungle and sounds of the Amazon, you know, so it awakens this primal rawness in us humans, not something that's pristine, plastic and false, something that's real, something that's incorporating nature, is the earth, you know. We're here, you know, we're here on this earth. Let's play, let's dance, let's sing under the stars. And again, I would love to have in my performances African drums, you know, like have all my brothers and sisters, and we just doom doom doom, and it just awakens that primal DNA within us. So I do see myself reaching that status, that status where it's just illuminating the frequency of healing.
Yeah.
You know, like there's frequencies of, I have to be careful what I say, because like you see women in the industry and they're very sexualized, you know, and then you have the men that are, I'm just thinking of like there's like the rap scene or the hip hop scene and whatever. Like there's a lot of like drugs. There's a lot of numbness. There's a lot of catch flights, no feelings sort of thing, you know, and just these sort of energies, or like just like a lot of low things to keep us
unconscious ultimately.
Yeah. And I want to be able to be like at that level where we're healing and it's in fashion. We're healing and we know it's the best. No more of trying to diminish that or look the other way. Like, look at what we need to do, you know? So yeah, I see myself reaching those levels, but doing it in a way where it's filled with integrity, and it's you know, it's not just about me. Like I'm helping everyone out as we as you know, as I rise, we're all rising as well.
Yeah.
So it's not like this hierarchy or this pyramid where I'm at the top and everyone's below me. You know, you work for me. It's almost just like we're working together. How can I ever make this happen on my own? Like, especially that level, like I want to have a beautiful, beautiful team, basically.
You're expanding the lifeboat.
Exactly.
It's getting bigger. It's like
Exactly.
a cruise ship at the end.
And I know we all do it. Like there's artists that do it. Like there's black artists that help other black designers and that. But I really want to help at that frequency level. You know, I want to help. Not just I'm gonna help exposure for you. I actually want, you know, your frequency to rise, and that's how we lift the frequency of all. Again, I like that one, the lifeboat. It's funny you say that, because a few days ago I saw a video of refugees on a lifeboat and none of them had life jackets. And I was just like, Ross, like, this is our brothers and sisters escaping something that's horrific. And I think the boat was throwing water or something. And I just like, why can't we just get them up? Make them a part of our family, because we are one. I just, it's silly. It's silly that humans have this thing of separation, of like, you know, your skin's darker than mine, so you're less than me. it's not even, that's just so foreign.
It's arbitrary points of division.
Damn.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's so funny that you mentioned the lifeboat, and I see that, like, let's make this boat bigger, you know, for one and all.
Yeah. And yeah, so would you say that would be success for you? Is that your vision of success?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Because I always say teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand where or why people feel threatened by someone's creative spark. Or or if they're collaborating. I've experienced this, that's why I'm sharing it. Like, if we're collaborating, my light is not going to diminish yours, or my light's not going to outshine yours. Like, yes, we have different frequencies, but like, two lights together are even brighter.
Yeah. There's plenty of room for us all.
Plenty of room. There's too much room.
There's infinite room.
There's too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I think that just comes down with just knowing yourself, though. You know, because I've experienced all of the insecure, you know, competitive ego, like everything that
Yeah.
doesn't serve me to the highest, you know. And again, it all serves, like this whole spectrum, it all serves at one point in life. And that's how we can relate to humans, and we don't judge, and we see. And I had just got to let everyone know, though, that we don't need to resonate there, you know. Like, that we can salute it, respect it, and just, you know, move on up.
Yeah.
Clear, move on up, stay strong, stay in the heart, you know, love self, therefore love all.
Yeah. Beautiful message. And it's so important, like, if people, please don't let other people's lights scare you or make you combative towards them, or it can also be turned into excitement, into inspiration. It's just a simple flip from jealousy into inspiration that can make such a big change in one's own mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it comes from groundedness.
Yeah.
When one's grounded in self, like, they're just here, they're witnessing. When one's not grounded, that's when they can be pulled with the tide, you know. Threatened, no. But again, you just said it, it's just that simple flip.
Yeah.
You know.
Frequency change.
Yeah.
Sahala, it's been incredible.
Wow, I could talk forever.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you on for another episode at some point.
Bless you. I'd love to.
But this has been amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you for
coming
allowing
on.
this space.
Of course. Yeah, I'm really glad you could join me and we shared the space.
Yeah.
Before we finish up, is there anything else you want to say? Any conclusive remarks for people? Anything you want to let people know?
Yeah. You know, don't let yourself hold yourself back. Like, whatever you're doing in life, please just accept, love, and grow from it all. Time is far too precious, life is far too short to punish yourself, to hold on to things that have happened. Like, with ease and grace, just keep flowing, you know, keep swimming. And I think the biggest message, and it always is and always will be, is just love.
Yeah.
Like, that's the highest. Like, love yourself so much that it lights up the darkest corners. And yeah, we make mistakes, but don't hold on to it, you know, just grow from it. Love, 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 love.
Beautiful. Beautiful point to end on. Thank you so much again for joining me, and thank you everyone for watching. Till next time.
Thank you.